The biotic revenge hypothesis developed as a result of my early interest in what are called learned taste aversions. And many different animals, if they ingest novel food and are made sick, will develop an association between the smell and taste of novel food and gastrointestinal distress, so that later on, the mere taste of the food promotes a very dramatic aversion. Gradually, this interest in learned taste aversions and the demise of dinosaurs prompted me, once I got to the University at Albany, to begin to investigate the fossil record as it pertains to the emergence of toxic plants. And the principal initial toxic plants were what are called angiosperms. And in looking at the fossil record for plants, I discovered that angiosperms emerged initially at or slightly before the disappearance of dinosaurs. So, as a consequence of the spread of angiosperms, dinosaurs may have eaten themselves into oblivion because they couldn't learn to avoid eating toxic plants. Some people have found it very interesting. Other people are skeptical, and I understand that. And many paleontologists, I suspect, are rather skeptical, although ultimately it becomes a matter of evidence. Once they stabilized under conditions in captivity, we conducted learned taste aversion tests and discovered that caimans that were exposed to a novel flavor and made sick failed to develop learned taste aversions, in contrast to caimans that weren't exposed to a novel flavor but made sick as a control group. The caimans were fed beef while they were in the lab, and then on the test day, half of them were exposed to chicken for the very first time and made sick. So chicken was the novel flavor. So that was consistent with the idea that because dinosaurs and crocodilians are all descended from a common ancestor, that the reason the dinosaurs went extinct is because they were incapable of forming learned taste aversions. My hope would be that maybe other people would be prompted by this hypothesis to conduct further tests. The other potential evidence that could be collected to test this hypothesis would be to see if the bones and teeth and other fossil remains of dinosaurs during this period in which dinosaurs gradually disappeared contains traces of angiosperm toxins. The same thing would be true for fossilized dinosaur fecal material. You could test North American alligators, you could test African crocodiles, you could test saltwater crocs, and so on and so forth. Insects that were captured in amber might still contain angiosperm toxins. So it would be another way to test this hypothesis. If dinosaurs went extinct in a very abrupt and widespread fashion because of an asteroid impact, then how did we survive? How did the precursors to humans ever survive, let alone other mammals? So I'm not saying that the asteroid impact didn't have an effect on other species. It clearly did, but the disappearance of dinosaurs doesn't appear to be specific to the asteroid impact, as evidenced by the fact that they were already on their way of going extinct before and then continued for millions of years after the asteroid impact. The take-home message is that it's possible that the reason dinosaurs went extinct is because of a psychological handicap rather than as a consequence or perhaps in addition to the asteroid impact hypothesis. The asteroid impact hypothesis may have contributed to dinosaur extinction, but the fact that they began to go extinct prior to and continued to go extinct afterwards suggests that there are other factors that were obviously involved.